Do we act natural?
I don't know. People are probably gonna come on and we'll be like, "Oh, what's up?" But that's literally
That's
it.
a lag.
Like, where? Well, it always lags.
Oh, okay.
Because that's just life, you know.
Okay. Okay, so next thing is we need a lead-in after like I'm a this, I'm a that, I'm a that. We're going to shots of the group stretching.
Mm-hmm.
So let's look through that footage.
That is definitely in the Big Yeet file.
But we can also do like this squad warming up basic talk. This is like love on.
Like the hard part about that is literally that it's just like, is that you? Oh, that was in the shot?
Nope, that was me.
Oh.
Okay, thoughts? Do you want to do this part? Because I feel like you have a better eye for action.
I agree. Wait, 1 second. Okie dokie. Yeah. Are we switching chairs or am I just gonna...
You just yeet over.
Okay. Shall I eat? How long do we want this to be?
Whatever you think flows.
Okay.
So basically we want something that will follow the I am quick cuts.
I'm concerned about your knife skills.
Precede the title and just some... Because the annoying part is like all the mic stuff. Oh, do you want to answer some questions from the people?
Oh yeah, what are they saying?
Alright, let's put it over here, I guess. Hi friends, this is Sivani. She's working on this with me. And we are currently in the editing room making stuff.
What's your doc about?
Yeah.
So our documentary, this was actually Josh's brainchild, but our documentary is about a local improv group made up of working 9-to-5 professionals, very much like my parents or your parents.
Yeah.
Working 9-to-5 professionals, yeah. But these people take time out of their weeks, out of their days to pursue the arts. And we're exploring more broadly, but specifically through the case study of this improv group, what the arts can do to enhance our lives. And yeah, basically. So right now we're just working on our fine cuts.
And just in general, like, okay, I want to bring this back, but it doesn't have the audio. Damn, I should probably just go back to...
Asking. 3 years of gap is impossible to apply and get 100. What?
I don't know. I'm not a financial aid officer. Like,
we are unsure.
Ooh, what about this shot? Like, starting with this shot
Wait,
of their
that's
feet.
so good. That's so good. Yeah.
And then, like...
Josh, you have the eye for the action shots. You do what you think.
I'm thinking about, like, just how to contextualize that.
Yeah.
Because I really love shoe shots, just in general. Because, like, it's like, oh, this is, like, a whole part of the thing, but, like, you don't know who's talking, you don't know who the characters are.
Mm-hmm.
Why is this so laggy?
What? The live stream?
No, just, like, the playback. Hmm. Do I want to do them like doing the warm up and talking to each other? Because I didn't get the audio very well during that section.
Yeah.
But
This audio isn't too bad.
I like this too. Wait.
Oh, one sentence story. Now, you may have played one word story in the past, which goes a little something like once.
I like that entire shot, even with the shakiness.
And then you will tell your story one sentence at a time. Don't make a long sentence. It could be as little as a word, but just try not to take up more than 2 seconds. So that makes sense.
And then my idea would be to.
It's so
It's still go. What?
It's so interesting to see myself in lag.
All right, I have an idea for this one. Where's the fine cut? There's a fine cut. So,
C-suite.
All right. So my idea was to, instead of put the title like after the introductions, to start off with, this whole, to start off with this section, and then like at one point, overlay the.
I've played one word story in the past, which goes a little something like one. Yeah, we're not doing that. This is one sentence story, so we're going.
Like here, we split it. Unlink.
Hold up, we got a question. How did you guys feel opening your acceptance letter after getting your decision back? Do you want to go?
How did you guys feel opening your acceptance letters? Oddly enough, like I didn't think I was gonna come here like before Ivy Day came out. Like I kind of made my decision of where I was gonna go because I got a really good financial offer at a different place, and then like my mind changed after visits. So my like acceptance was kind of anticlimactic in that like in that when it happened, I was kind of just like, oh, nice to know my efforts were validated. But I didn't like, I wasn't like freaking out. I never like, I didn't have my heart set on Dartmouth or any other school at that point, really. Like, I kind of did just resign myself to everything. So I was like, oh, okay. Thank you.
Stamp of validation.
I don't really like this title.
Me neither. Like the title.
Like
the box. I hate the fact that it's in a box. Because the whole point of it
looks
is
like
to be
iMovie.
It is, yeah.
It looks like iMovie.
It does look like iMovie. I'm sorry. I think I picked it. Even though I hate it. Might be.
Wait, how did you pick it then? Where'd you find it?
Fam, I don't remember, actually. Graphics, potentially? Graphics? Yeah, title. Yeah. Exactly.
What the hell? I didn't know this whole part existed. I never used any of this. Basic title. Let's go basic title because I'm basic. You should answer the question.
I should answer the question too. Okay, so when it was Ivy Day and decisions were supposed to be out, I went into, okay, so my family is Hindu and we have a little room, like one of our bedrooms is the dedicated God room. So I went in that room, even though I'm not really religious, just, trying to get all the luck I possibly could. So I went into that room, took my computer, opened up the decision. I wasn't expecting anything, like, I mean, I knew obviously I would be so happy if I got in, but my expectations weren't particularly high. And also applying to Dartmouth was kind of a last minute decision on my part. I didn't know much about the school. I mean, okay, so I come from the suburbs of Chicago, and people that went to my high school or people that I grew up with usually didn't go outside of the Midwest for school. So it wasn't like going to an Ivy was something, or going to an Ivy, going to Dartmouth specifically, was something that I clearly imagined for myself growing up. But anyways, when I told my mom that I was applying to this school named Dartmouth, she was like, "What is that?" I was like, "Oh, it's this other, like other school in the Northeast." And she was like, "I don't really know what it is, but I have a feeling you're going there." So it was just this weird kind of intuition that my mom had back then. And for some reason, I also chose to look at Dartmouth's decision first on Ivy Day. And I opened it in the God room of our house, and they like have little balloons, animated balloons, like flying up the virtual decision letter if you got in. And
They
man,
didn't
I
have that
was.
for us. What
They
the
didn't
hell?
have that for you. We had
Yeah.
floating balloons and confetti, and it was what a feeling. It was just a feeling of insane validation, definitely, for all
Yeah.
the work that I'd done like the last 4 years. But it's just, again, like I said, it's something that I wasn't expecting, never something that I imagined for myself. But seeing that, congratulations, you've been accepted into the class of 2020. Oh, what a feeling. Felt fantastic. Maria commented, "Oh, OHH."
Okay. I'm honestly
Did you
just
apply
picking.
RD? I think both of us did. I'm
Yeah.
assuming. Yes, we did.
I don't know what font I want for this. Oh, why did that do that? Okay. Like, I don't know what font to put the title in.
Something goofy.
Goofy fonts. Goofy fonts on
Ooh, I like that.
for film titles. Because I don't want to like I choose the right font for your film title. Typography, blah blah blah. Okay. I don't know.
This is also something that we can pick later.
That's true,
Right, like,
but
it's
also
not-
just like
You want to do it in order.
before I forget.
Brown has always been my dream school, but I've been starting to consider Dartmouth.
Just out of curiosity, why did you pick Dartmouth over Brown? I think Brown was just like in a lot of ways a little too much, because like how would I say this? It was like a little too much freedom that kind of scared me. Not in the idea that like I was too scared of freedom, but more in the sense that like I felt like too much freedom was not great for me in terms of like the open curriculum, in terms of like the artsiness of the school too. Like that was something that like I felt like I needed time to develop. I didn't really want to be in a place where everyone felt like they were already like so far ahead of me in a lot of ways. Um, so I hated that about it, and I felt like it wasn't really going to be a challenge of like going there. I not academically because like obviously it's an Ivy League school, it's gonna be hard, but more in the sense that like I didn't feel like I would grow much as a person. It was very similar, not very similar, but like similar enough to my community at home that I didn't feel like I'd get too much out of going somewhere far away and going there. So in general, like it just wasn't different enough for me. And yeah,
Were you picking between Dartmouth and Brown
yeah,
at the
actually,
end? Okay.
yeah.
Is that the school that you were talking about that gave you a lot of financial aid? And you were
No,
saying?
that was USC.
USC, like.
Yeah, like I got a full scholarship there. So before Ivy Day came around, I was like mentally resigned to already going there.
Mm-hmm.
And we can add typekit fonts. I was already mentally resigned to going there, and I couldn't I didn't really want to consider any other place.
Yeah.
But then my dad was like, "Oh, you better consider these Ivy League schools." And I'm like, "Oh, all right. If you say so." And then I did, and then I ended up here. I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
How was your experience writing your essays? I'm spending way too much time looking for these titles.
Yeah, I think.
Experience writing essays.
So I work at Upper Valley Honda, local.
What about you?
Salesperson there. Sorry.
What about me?
For my day job, I focus really on a lot of research and coaching and training, particularly around emotional intelligence and mindfulness, working with folks from C-suite.
What are we putting after this again?
After, yeah, you can look at the fine cut outline.
So it is, they say what they do, and
I
then
think it
we
would-
go into the group stretch.
Yep.
Okay, I really like this shot.
Me too. I think it's a great opening shot.
I think we could definitely cut it down, but
Yeah, but
um,
we can fine tune towards the end. Yeah.
I just really needed to do this for myself.
So now we're gonna warm up our minds. We're gonna play
I
a
love
game called One Sentence Story. Now you may have played one word story in the past, which goes a little something like once. Yeah, we're not doing that. This is one sentence story. So we're going to start off with a word to jump off with, and then you will tell your story one sentence at a time. Don't make it a run-on sentence. It could be as little as a word, but just try not to take up more than 2 sentences. So if that makes sense. So I work at Upper Valley Honda, local car dealership.
I really like that
salesperson
opener.
there.
That was a good opener. Oh my gosh.
Because I'm a receptionist, and so
No, I'm retired since 2012.
We're obviously going to cut these down.
Yeah.
For my day jobs, I focus really on a lot of research and coaching and training, particularly around emotional intelligence and mindfulness, working with folks from C-suites.
Okay. And then after that, we're gonna do the warm-up scene again.
I think what would be nice is obviously we're interspersing. We're cutting the interviews with practice shots, yeah?
Yeah.
So I think it would be cool when we are using the practice shots to stick with the sequence of how it happened in the actual practice.
Oh, I like that.
You know what I mean? So it's not like
Yeah.
jumpy. It's
Yeah.
basically if you were to take out all the interview shots and just the practice shots
Yeah,
in the sequence, they would follow a progression.
I like that. That's really smart. I really like that.
Thanks.
Shoot, I lost the timeline again.
Someone said something.
Oh.
Wait, first we didn't answer the how was your application?
Or how was your experience writing your application essays? I was suffering. I didn't know what to write about. I thought I had no personality or life experience, so I really had to look into the mundane of my life. And literally, I wrote my this was a blessing in disguise, but I wrote my Dartmouth application essay on someone I met at a coffee shop while I was writing essays. And I literally freaked out when it happened. I was like, I could write an essay about this. I got really manic. I was like, I'm gonna write a whole essay about how this person was a really good listener and they decided to talk to me. I was like, oh, I really appreciate that. And that's yeah. So that was my application essay. My Common App essay was also a mess. I was like, I have no personality. What am I gonna write about? And then I was like, wait, I am a not so rich person in a rich kid's school. Something came out of that. So I just wrote about life.
You have such a personality.
Really?
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
You're welcome. But it's true.
Yeah.
It's weird to be hearing you say that you don't have a personality. But yeah, application essays. For Dartmouth there were two. One was Common App and one was Dartmouth specific. The Common App I wrote about. So my dad and my mom immigrated from India when they were in their early 20s, and my Common App essay was basically about contrasting my life and my relationship with school and education versus my dad's life and his relationship with school and education. And I remember the ending line for my essay was, my dad had to learn to live, and because of that, I've been given the opportunity to live to learn.
That's so cool. What the?
I actually, one of the greatest parts of writing that Common App essay was sending it to my dad afterwards and him reading it and understanding my perspective of his past and his history and how he grew up. I don't know, that was something really special that happened between us. And then for my Dartmouth specific essay, I think we got to choose between a few different prompts. The one I chose, what was it? I think it was just something broad, like tell me something that you have been thinking about or something that's important to you, and something that I didn't wear the necklace, but I think my necklace fell down, but ooh, that's bad. Basically, me and my friends in high school used to talk a lot about free will, and at one point we would always have discussions about whether or not free will was an illusion, and I wrote about that. I wrote about free will, why it could potentially be perceived as an illusion. Yeah, it was quite different in terms of tone from the personal nature of my Common App essay, but it was just something that I'd been thinking about a lot, and now I'm freaking out because I think my necklace fell somewhere. It says FWIAI, stands for free will is an illusion, but I need to find it now because I don't know where it is.
All right. Another quick question: is this documentary for a class or just for fun? It's for a class. It's about a local improv group and how you explore life and art in conjunction with each other. Especially outside of a university perspective. Does Dartmouth offer free video editing software you can use, or do you have to use your own editing software? There are facilities, computers that you can use for free to use the software. They do not provide software licenses individually, so that kind of sucks, but they also have workshops on it, and yeah. Alrighty.
On a special occasion.
I love Jake.
Hmm?
Jake.
That's his
From
name?
Improv group? Yeah, Jake.
Matt, we're gonna go.
He's so charismatic. I wish we could have, like...
He is super
A
charismatic.
food that you eat on a special occasion. Christmas.
And he's so good at guessing,
Christmas.
like the items in the shop game.
Yeah.
Crazy good.
The jumping off point is gonna be goose zanya. Goose zanya. Is gonna be goose zanya. Goose.
The other day, I went to Gusano's and they had a new thing on their menu.
I think we could cut to, like, part...
It was very spicy, and it was also a dessert, which is strange.
When I ordered it, I flinched because I wasn't sure I knew what Gusano would be like.
Ooh.
Starting at Richard would be good if we want to cut out the people that aren't in the doc.
I think I like that section of 3 people. I forget their names. Where is the thing? Oh, this isn't graphics. I should... I really want to do... Oh my god. There's like a section of 3 people that I really liked.
The other day, I went to Gusano's and they had a new thing on their menu.
It was very spicy, and it was also a dessert.
Could you pause for a second? Do we have
When
an
I
explanation
ordered
for
it, I
this
flinched
Yes.
because
We
I-
do. Okay.
Right here.
Word, but just try not to take up more
Got
than
it,
2
okay.
seconds or so, if that makes sense. So I work at Upper Valley.
And then
I
we could,
flinched because I wasn't sure I knew what Busan would be like.
Would be like.
and then we could cut it there.
Okay.
I really like that.
Okay, yeah,
Like-
yeah. I'm down with it. I'm down with it.
And then we go into the next part of it, which is them talking about how this helps them in their lives.
Yeah.
Part of being a good car salesman, potentially Barb, potentially Belinda. Okay. I think I remember where these are. Where's it? Where's?
We are practicing. It's just us. And of course, so when we are practicing, it's just us. So that is the measure of if it's good. If you want to get into something really technical, if you are not performing for an audience per se, where you're going somewhere performing on stage for a painting,
Has been huge in terms of a tool.
part of being a good car salesperson.
Yes. That's what I wanted.
Perfect.
Okay.
When I ordered it, I flinched because I wasn't sure I knew what Busan would be like.
Part of being a good car salesperson, and I don't necessarily mean good like make all the money. I mean good as in you do a good job by your customers, is realizing what they want, realizing how best to make them feel that the choice to purchase your vehicle is the right one. And it's about if the car is right for them. It's about if you are the right person for them.
Okay. I don't like this particular section because it doesn't really explain about why improv helped. So I think maybe we should just do that part about what's it called? When he's like, if I can be that guy, I can be that guy.
Oh, true.
Characters and have different interpretations of what people are
For
saying to me.
someone already in
it's
college,
Probably
what is
the
your
best
biggest advice to
possible
them so
background
far?
you could have
You're a senior. I feel like you have better insight on this.
for doing what I do. So I got really lucky that how best to make
It's
them
a
feel
hard question. Let me think
that the choice to
about
purchase
it a
your
bit.
vehicle is right. It's about getting the right person for them. But having hours upon hours of just having to think on my feet so quickly and be so many different characters and have different interpretations of what feel that the choice to purchase your vehicle is the right one. And it's about if the car's right for them. It's about if you're the right person for them. But having hours upon hours of just having to think.
Okay, I'll just take both of. Alright, I'll just put
Is your
all of
biggest
that
advice?
together. I think like my personal advice, even though I'm still figuring college out, is to like spend a little bit of time with yourself and like figure out who you are and reflect on that a little bit. Because I personally, this term was a big growing experience. Like I lost so much of who I thought I would, or not lost, but figure out, like, fix a lot of the preconceptions or thought about who I was a lot more. Especially with like deviating from a typical Dartmouth experience of like not being affiliated in a house and like not like being in any clubs that like defined my social life or anything. So it was like, whoa, who am I when school stops, when the day is done? Who am I? And that was something I was really glad to think about.
One thing I would say is this is something that's I personally struggled with, so maybe it doesn't apply to you, so take it for what it's worth. But before I came to college, so much of what I did revolved around getting into a good school. And that was the goal that I revolved much of my time, effort, energy on. And once I got into college, I was like lost for a goal. I didn't have one central motivating factor that I could always come back to at the end of the day. And that left me aimless and wandering, and I feel like I wasted a good amount of time that where I could have actually directed my energy towards something a little bit more productive. So I guess what I would say is, as much as you can, early on, try to identify a goal. And obviously, goals change, goals are flexible and they're fluid. But I think having one or two central motivating factors for yourself really allows you to streamline all of this energy that you have into something that is productive. Because that's something that I definitely struggled with during the first term I came to Dartmouth, but even throughout the first year as a whole. So yeah, I hope that makes sense. Yeah.
A lot of the work we do, whether it's coaching coaches or leading professionals, it's all improv. And so it's woven in a few different ways. One is
Let's just see how this looks in context of everything else.
So working around local car dealership. I'm a salesperson there. I started.
It helps in my work life because I'm a receptionist.
No, I'm retired since 2000.
For that, I kind of like that. Well, no,
day job.
Yeah, and I want to
focus
put him
really on a lot
last
of,
in that.
research
Because he's like,
and
oh, you expect him to say a
training
job, but no.
around
Right.
intelligence and mindfulness.
What's a mentality you're
working
thinking you
with
would
folks from
suggest
C-suite.
college students
The other
adapt?
day, I went to Busan.
So many mentalities.
Do college to learn, not to impress anyone, not for a grade. And honestly, like, if you do it to learn, you'll gain skills out of it, and those skills are employable. So honestly, don't even do it for a career. Like, do it for you and let everything else fall into place. Apply for internships, obviously, that will be a thing for, like, breaks
A
and
lot of
stuff.
the work we
But,
do,
like,
whether it's coaching coaches or
know what you learn is important in the world, and you can apply that in a, like, way outside of just a major, you know? Yeah. So, like, if you're an English major, surprise, you know how to communicate and write. Now you can be in marketing, like, in communications, like, frame your story that way. And I think, like, the CPD was actually really important for me in that sense. I went in for an advising appointment with career services, and they were like, we honestly don't, like, we want you to, like, do what makes you happy and then frame your story in a way that makes you employable after. So it was like, prioritize what you like versus before you go into what you want to be. And I really appreciated that, and it changed my mentality so much.
Are you doing the activities or things you kind of planned when you applied to Dartmouth?
Are you?
I wouldn't say so. I thought that I was going to be, well, I came in knowing that I wanted to major in economics, go into the more like typical finance consulting route. But when I went to some of the typical, more popular finance organizations on campus, I didn't like it. I wasn't a huge fan, and I couldn't see myself spending or committing so much time and effort to these groups. And so I explored a lot of different things, and I think the defining extracurricular experiences and activities that I've had at Dartmouth is one being the president of a cultural organization, the South Asian Student Association, and social impact work, actually. I was really heavily involved with the Dartmouth Center for Social Impact for most of my time here and still am. I've done business things tangentially, but it hasn't been as big of a part of my extracurricular life as I would have expected coming in.
Wait, are you still president of SASA?
No, that ended middle junior year, I think. Or
Oh, okay.
early junior year, yeah.
I was just wondering. Because
No.
I'm currently president of a cultural organization. I can't handle it.
Oh, it's really rough. Yeah. Because everyone wants to like come hang out and enjoy, but no one wants to like
Put in the
put
work.
in work. Yeah, but it's a great learning experience, I thought. Something I still talk about in my interviews to this day.
I think so too.
Yeah.
For me, I never, like, everything I did in college was really unexpected, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm in a comedy club.
Right.
Like, I never expected to ever do anything of that sort.
Yeah.
I do film stuff. Like, I'm crunchy and in the outing club.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, I thought I would, like, go on a hike or two in college, you know, like, see the world. But now I'm, like, going outside every single weekend. So that was a surprise. And what else do I do? I'm still a research assistant. Expected that. Fuck!
What?
Today's November 5. I was supposed to do something by today. Damn it, it's fine. I can do it by tomorrow. Yeah.
Hi.
Do you guys have a MacBook charger by any chance?
I do actually. Like a T-style?
Which is the T cell, the one that like the magnetic one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also, guys, this is my friend and my
Oh.
sorority sister, Paula.
Hello.
We're live streaming.
Oh my god, sorry.
Paula's actually making a mockumentary on YouTube videos as we
Yes.
speak, which is
Word.
really funny. Okay, hold up.
Sorry for interrupting.
No, it's
feel
fine.
free
It's
to
just
say
a
hi.
live
Like,
It's over there. Hold on.
alright. What else am I doing?
Leading professionals, it's all improv. And so it's moving in a few different ways.
What the?
A lot of the work we do, whether it's coaching coaches or leading professionals, it's all improv. And so it's moving in a few different ways. One is when I do presentations, especially training people, including our MLGP students here at Rocky, about how do you have a stronger presence in whichever way.
You
Actually,
need
there's
to
a lot
cut
of
the
improv
boom
exercises
sound.
because it helps us to get out of our heads. It helps us to kind of get out of the, oh my gosh, what am I going to say? Why are you looking at me? For all of those things, all of those inner talk that we have. So improv has been huge in terms of a tool.
Part of being a good car salesperson, and I don't necessarily mean good like make all the money. I mean good as in you do a good job by your customers, is realizing what they want, realizing how best to make them feel that the choice to purchase your vehicle
These
is the right
interviews
one.
drag on.
And
This
it's about
drags.
if the car is right for them. It's about if you were the right person for them. But having hours on
Oh, shit.
time to think on my feet so quickly and be so many different characters and have different interpretations of what people are saying to me, it's probably the best possible background you could have for doing what I do. So I got really lucky that I picked this profession.
That last part is really good. Yeah.
So I don't think we should put Barb in for that part.
Okay.
I think we could put her in when we talk about like good improv.
Okay.
Ooh, I have an idea.
Yeah.
This was a really just like funny scene. Before that, and like I don't think you don't necessarily need context. And it can be a nice transition. Wait, let's see how this goes.
Different interpretations of what people are saying to me. It's probably the best possible background you could have for doing what I do. So I really lucky that I picked this profession.
We need to add crossfades. Wait, pause. There's a freaking interview clip that I wrote down because I liked it so much about Richard talking about Disney. Like he specifically says something Disney related and how like improv lets you be a kid. Can we save it for that?
Damn it!
Save it for that? 'Cause-
That was so good!
No, but like, no. Fuck, hold up. Where's life?
No, I get you. Like, I think we should switch
Maybe
this
Richard
out
Pony
now.
Stop. That's so good. Yeah.
So I also think that, like, I guess in that part of Larson's interview, we can make it a lot slower? Or not slower. What's that part where he's like,
I don't necessarily mean good like make all the money. I mean good as in you do a good job by your customers.
I think I should cut it there.
Where
Is realizing what they want, realizing how best to make them feel that the choice to purchase your vehicle is the right one. And it's about if the car is right for them. It's about if you're the right person for it. But having hours upon hours upon hours, so I'm just having to think about these so quickly, and be so many different characters and have different interpretations of what they being a good car salesperson. And I don't necessarily mean good.
A tool.
Part of being a good car salesperson.
Okay. So in order to cut down this interview for Loris and make it, and make this a lot faster, I'm going to have to make this really awkward cut, and I don't know what to put in between. Like, it'll be very obvious that we are doing a cut if, like, what is that? C? Oh, it's B. That's so weird. What is this for? Is this for... What the... Oh. Okay. I get it now. Someone changed the shortcuts, I believe, on, like... I think someone changed the shortcuts to match Final Cut Pro instead of Premiere Pro, and I've been working in my Premiere Pro mindset, but now I remember them from Final Cut, so I think I should be able to do this pretty easily now.
Good,
someone said, "I love how you work together." Josh!
Wholesome. That shit wholesome.
You want to know something really cute? So, a few weeks ago, we did our first official shooting session. We shot this interview with this guy named Lauriston, who's kind of the unofficial head of the improv group. And when we came back, I was relaxing in my room for a bit, and Josh and Emma, who's our other group member, texted me saying, like, we're going to the grocery store, like the Dartmouth Co-op, which is the local grocery store, and said, "Do you want anything?" I was like, "Fuck yeah, I want something. Get me some donuts, please, or cookies." And they got me these like delicious apple cider donuts, and we all just hung out in our room, spilled hella tea, gave updates on our life, just complained about anything wrong that was going on, and it was a super wholesome moment. So we've definitely gotten close.
Yeah.
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 Being a good car salesperson. And I don't necessarily mean good, like make all the money, mean good as in you do a good job by your customers, is
Okay.
by your customers.
I think I want it to end there. And then
Tool.
Part of being a good car salesperson is realizing what they
there's
want,
It's
a
like a
jump
jump
cut there.
cut.
realizing how best to make them feel that the choice to purchase your vehicle is the right one. And it's about if the car is right for them. It's about
I
if you were the
wonder
right person for them.
if we can
But
add
having hours
cut
upon
to
hours upon
a
hours of
practice
just having to think of my
to
teeth so
make it
quickly
not
and
a
be
jump
so many
cut.
different characters and have
I think
different,
so too.
Yeah.
how best to make them feel that the choice to purchase your vehicle is the right one.
Ooh, okay. I could cut it there. And then, let's see. Yeah, who changed all of these shortcuts? I don't know how they did it because, like,
I think it might have been okay. So I think the Under the Bridge group
yeah.
works here, and I feel like I heard Matt saying that he prefers Final Cut. So it could have been Matt.
God damn it,
God,
Matt.
Matt. Ew. Who is
Hmm? Which one?
Yeah, which one? That's important.
I mean, is it important?
Yeah, it's important.
Who are the 20s in the house that you're avoiding?
There's no one I'm avoiding, but like,
Okay,
if you're gonna take a few hours out of your day,
that's true.
you know.
It should be someone you kind of like being around.
Right. Exactly.
How best to make them feel that the choice to purchase your vehicle is the right one, but having hours upon hours upon hours of just having to think.
Hello, I'm from Paraguay and I just applied ED to Dartmouth. They gave us an option about uploading additional materials in the portal. Did you submit some of these when you applied? I did not. My understanding of it is if you're an artist and you have like just a portfolio that you would want to show or other bodies of work like I don't know, films that you've made or music that you've created, that is something that you would upload additionally. But beyond that, I don't think that you would need to upload something.
When I applied, I actually made a whole website. This is kind of embarrassing, but I made a whole website for myself and like put things like I was like, I'm gonna stand out. I'm gonna make a website. So I put like pictures of me and like the things I like doing and like videos of stuff and like oh my god, there was like a video of me playing ukulele at one point. I was like, oh my god, that's so awkward. And I sent it to all of my colleges.
Well, it worked out.
Yeah.
It worked out.
I think so. And today I don't know if they actually viewed it because I didn't have like view count things for the website, and I really wish I did. But I remembered an interviewer for one of the colleges I applied to talked about the website, and I was like,
really?
this is really awkward. Because I was like, I'm not a good singer. Why did I post a video of me singing? I'm like,
you're gonna stand out.
I'm gonna stand out for being bad.
For being bad.
But yeah, like it did give a little bit more context to show like at least that I was real about the stuff I did.
Yeah.
Which was on one hand nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Where is the
Oh, someone said I 100% totally platonically shipped the aw guys.
Nice.
Platonic.
Nothing more platonic than a
high five.
Alright, where is the
Watch or anything like that. I kind of hope. I would say that improv has been more prevalent in Muff than all of the acting classes and stuff like that. Have a nice old lady that just wants someone to help them with a set of phone and be very curious and thoughtful and considerate and sit through asking the national tech questions about how the buttons and everything work. I can be that guy. When I have a young kid that walks in that wants to get the fastest annual sports car we have, I can be that guy. When I have someone that's a kind of jerk and does not really like car people or car salesmen and thinks that you're scum of the earth and that you're trying to swindle him out of all of his money, I can be the guy that tries to calm him down and say, look, this is about trying to make sure that you find what you're looking for, and I'm not here to take all your money. We're trying to be here to give you a good deal. We're both happy. Someone that's a kind of a jerk and does not really like car people or car salesmen and thinks that you're scum of the earth and that you're trying to swindle him out of all of his money, I can be the guy that tries to calm him down. And
let's see about that.
Is realizing what they want, realizing how best to make them feel that the choice to purchase your vehicle is the right one. So being an actor means that when I have a nice old lady who just wants someone to help them with how to set up their phone and be very courteous and thoughtful and considerate and sit through asking tech questions about how to do buttons and everything work, I can be that guy. When I have a young kid that walks in that wants to get the fastest manual sports car we have, I can be that guy. When I have someone that's a kind of jerk and does not really like car people or car salesmen and thinks that you're scum of the earth and that you're trying to swindle him out of all of his money, I can be the guy that tries to calm them down.
How do you feel?
Extend that a bit?
Because then it goes into more and like.
No, just like the down needs to be extended like a tiny bit.
And that you're trying to swindle him out of all of his money, I can be the guy that tries to calm him down.
Oh, like a second more. Like a few frames more.
That's the problem.
It just jumps right in.
His money, I can be the guy that tries to calm him down and say, look,
okay. I get what you're saying.
Money, I can be the guy that tries to calm him down.
Better than this.
But having hours upon hours upon hours of just having to think on my feet so quickly and be so many different characters and have different interpretations of what people are saying to me. It's probably the best
I
possible
need that part.
background
That part is so good.
for doing
But it's
what
like-
I do.
It's
So
really
I
long. I
really
know.
would
Can we
love to
cut more of
take
this? The part
profession.
where he's like, I could be that guy. I could be that guy. Like, that's not that necessary.
Okay. So make it just one beat.
means that when I have a nice old lady that just wants someone to help them with how to set up their phone and be very courteous and thoughtful and considerate and sit through asking all the tech questions about how does all the new buttons and everything work, I can be that guy.
Cut it there. We don't need the other parts. It would be a jump cut still.
Being a good car salesperson
Yeah.
is realizing what they want, realizing how best to make them feel that the choice to purchase your vehicle is the right one. So being an actor means that when I have a nice old lady that just wants someone to help them with how to set up their phone and be very courteous and thoughtful and considerate and sit through asking all the tech questions about how does all the new buttons and everything work, I can be that guy. But having hours upon hours upon hours of just having to think on my feet so quickly and be so many different characters and have different interpretations of what people are saying to me, it's probably the best possible background you could have for doing what I do. So I got really, really lucky that I picked this profession.
Do you feel like we even need this part? Because he says at the end, like,
I think so too. I thought about just cutting this entirely.
I'm thinking about that as well.
Do you want to try it?
Yeah.
Our salesperson is realizing what they want, realizing how best to make them feel that the choice to purchase your vehicle is the right one. But having hours upon hours upon hours of just having to think on my feet so quickly and be so many different characters
Yes.
and have different
That's better.
interpretations
It's crisper.
of what people are saying to me, it's probably the best possible background you could have for doing what I do. So I got really, really lucky that I picked this profession.
So now the question is, how do we...
Tool.
Get over the jump cut.
Our
Yes.
salesperson is
What was the
realizing-
last? What's the previous practice footage that we used? Because let's try to find something that's. This is the last one
Yes.
that we used? Okay. Then something. Let's just go back to the practice footage. Something where Lauriston is like. It's displaying Lauriston thinking on his feet, right? Like.
I really
Is
like...
there one with Lauriston's feet in the shot? Like, I know that's really specific, but.
I mean, like, in this shot, you can kind of imagine he has feet.
Should it be a shot of him in the audience or should it be a shot of him performing? I'm open to either. Just
I think it should be him performing,
yeah.
but we gotta search for that.
Yeah.
Lauriston, where are your feet pics? Where art thou feet pics?
What about that? Like this part.
Okay, we definitely use it in Big Eat.
Yeah. Okay, wait, guys. So, right now we're working on our fine cuts, but we were working on rough cuts last week, and our other group member, Emma, was in charge of doing the final edits and submitting. And we just like titled our project Big Yeet as a joke. As a joke, very much so. And she submitted the project still titled Big Yeet. And then there was a slight issue with it in terms of the format. So we got an email from our professor the next day saying, "Dear Josh, Emma, and Sivani, your file, bigyeet.move, is too large." Great. Fantastic time. This one, yeah.
Okay, just do no audio here.
No audio here, like where he's
I think we
lifting
can
it.
take it from here then.
Yeah.
Time that there was a local.
Oh, because I really want to show the switch.
Between. Oh yes, yes. I agree.
Because I think that makes it like more obvious that it's like, yeah.
I just want to.
Part of being a good car salesperson is realizing what they want, realizing how best to make them feel that the choice to purchase your vehicle is the right one. But having hours upon hours upon hours of just having to think on my feet so quickly and be so many different characters and have different interpretations of what people are saying to me, it's probably
isn't there still
the
Jump
best
Cut?
possible background you could have.
Yes.
For the is your vehicle is the right one, but have it.
That's the hard part of it.
Let's just keep it for now.
I think.
Yeah.
I liked really using things to like transition and like have it be kind of a voiceover and then turn it into a clip with audio. So I think that might be a good move there, because this could retroactively exemplify him, or like exemplify early that he's being multiple characters, and then have him say it after.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see. And, I think I'll have to take it from the practice timeline itself.
Are you hungry?
Kind of? Not really.
At 6, I'll go do a hop run and bring us back food.
Okay, I'm down. I'm down to just go with you. Like,
Yeah, I think you need a break.
I'm also like getting really into it. Ugh,
Yeah.
this keyboard is really just like distracting me now because I'm looking down. I'm like, oh, C is for cut, but no, it's B in Final Cut.
Why would you put? I like the audio for this. I love the audio.
I think we could introduce it that way, and then like turn it into a voiceover, and then like. Oh, that would be a really cool shot. So we could start off with the audio of him introducing the shot itself and him like being this character, right? And then the idea is that when they switch out, like the scene changes and that they become different characters. Like I think it's called Little Voice.
This one isn't Little Voice. I don't think.
I don't know, but I remember when this dude came in that the character changed, and I think
Yeah,
it would be really
it
interesting to hear the voiceover and then hear the voiceover and suddenly he's a different character and then have him talk about how he can be multiple characters.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Wowie. Okay.
Oh, it looks like I'm picking my nose. Look. It looks like I'm picking my nose.
Nice.
Nice. You notice what I'm doing.
Let's see. Now, can we move these three things a little bit over? And then,
Improv has been huge in terms of a tool.
There's a part where
but having interpretation.
this would be okay. Yes. Let's see.
I'm so uncomfortable. That's like my husband's arms.
Why is this not snapping? Okay. There we go. Let's see what else I want here. Up until right about there, we're gonna unlink the audio and kill that.
I'm so pumped. Yes, you like my husband's arms. Part of being a good car salesperson is realizing what they want, realizing how best to make them feel that the choice to purchase your vehicle is the right one.
And the character part is before all of this?
Wait, give me a second. And then cut there. Let's see now. Okay.
So quickly. Maybe so many different characters have different interpretations of what people are saying to me. It's probably the best possible background you could have for doing what I do. So I got really, really lucky that I picked this profession.
And now, let's see if it's obvious.
Profession. I thought that thing was part of it. I mean, I don't.
What do you think?
I would like to see his face one more time during the interview.
But having hours.
Okay. How about we, let's see.
That the choice to purchase your vehicle is the right one. But having hours upon hours of just having to think of my feet so quickly and be so many different characters and have different interpretations of what people are saying to me, it's probably the
His
best
expressions
possible
and gestures
background
in
you
this
have for doing
visually
what I
is
do.
really
So I
good
got
too.
really, really lucky that I picked this profession.
Wait. I think I want to bring back that audio, and we could not mute it, but like tone it down when it starts to overlap, and then let's see.
I liked how it played.
Really?
Yeah, like I liked how it was like best training, and then you finish the improv scene. I don't mind that at all.
Okay.
Just because like Lauriston's facial expressions are so good.
Profession. How best to make them.
I wanted to just bring the audio down here and just make it a lot quieter so it's still in the.
Part of being a good car salesperson is realizing what they want, realizing how best to make them feel
let's do -20.
That the choice to purchase your vehicle is the right one, but having hours upon hours upon hours of just having to think on my feet so quickly and be so many different characters and have different interpretations
I
of
want to
what
start
people
that
are
from
saying
the
to you.
beginning.
And huge in terms of a tool.
Fonts, I'm so pumped. Yes, you like my updated fonts.
Part of being a good car salesperson is realizing what they want, realizing
Oh frick! It turned it into keyframes. I just wanted it all to just like be a certain level.
how best to make them feel
I want it to still be like audible or audible.
that the choice to purchase your vehicle is the right one, but having hours upon hours upon hours of just having to think on my feet so quickly and be so many different characters and have different
I like it.
interpretations of what people are saying to me, it's probably the best possible background you could have for doing what I do. So I got really lucky to pick this profession.
It picks up right from where you left
Yeah.
off. And then you see the
And then you
character
see
change.
the character change. It's brilliant.
But dude, your back is so much bigger than your legs. Yeah, but I'm like, okay, I can look like this. And yeah, my back's bigger, but my back's gonna be even more bigger because it's gonna be like falling apart. You know, so I thought back pain was part of it. I mean, you know,
I think that would be a good
I thought back pain was part of it.
cut there.
Yeah, sounds good. I don't like the freeze because they don't know what that means.
I don't like it either.
Yeah.
But it does show the different
Characters. Okay. New
Do you-
question.
Do you usually cram at Dartmouth?
I used to all the time, but it wasn't until I think my internships. So I'm a senior, but it wasn't until my junior year internships that I actually really developed good time management skills and have thankfully applied them back here at school because it saves me so much stress and yeah, it really helps out my life in general and lets me do I don't know, it lets me be more stable, that's for sure.
I mean, I
Yeah.
feel like you don't need to cram, but I still definitely do. Yeah, that's all. That's all, folks.
It's definitely, like, I found it super helpful to, if I have an exam next week Wednesday, to start, like, a week earlier and review, like, kind of pace my review, do it a little bit every day up until the exam rather than one big chunk right before. I've just found it more useful and better in terms of keeping me stress-free as well. Now we're only 3 watching.
I don't know. You tell me. Ooh, what's next? Then we can get into what makes good improv
Yeah.
and how improv helps people and their lives.
Yeah.
This was such a good outline. Like, I'm so happy with how it is just so far. And I also kind of like having the title just be like on top of this while the scene happens. I kind of like.
I love.
So I work at Upper Valley Honda, local.
Josh, I'm so happy.
Started.
Helps in my work life because I'm a receptionist. And so
No.
For my day jobs, I focus really on a lot of
Wait, I just want to like see it with Richard last.
Yeah.
Just like for the heck of it, because I think it would be a really funny like transition into the rest of it.
mindfulness.
Valley Honda, local car dealership. I'm a salesperson there. I started.
it helps in my work life because I'm a receptionist.
For my day jobs, I focus really on a lot of research and coaching and training, particularly around emotional intelligence and mindfulness, working with folks from C-suite.
No, I'm retired since 2012.
Oh, okay.
I kind of like the okay.
Oh, okay.
Just like put in subtitles at the bottom, like okay.
The other day, I went to Hanover and they had a new
Oh.
thing on their menu.
It was very spicy, and it was also a dessert, which is strange. When I ordered it, I flinched because I wasn't sure I knew what croissant would be like.
A lot of the work we do, whether it's coaching coaches or leading professionals, it's all improv. And so it's
Hi,
woven in a few
Kuya
different
Josh.
ways.
What does that
One
mean?
Oh,
is,
I think that's
when I
my
do
little
presentations,
brother,
especially
maybe?
training
I don't know.
RV music?
Kuya is like
Rocky, about,
a
how do you have,
word in Filipino
a strong
culture meaning
presence
like
in whichever way.
older
Actually, there's a lot of
male
improv
person
exercises
who is
in it
part of your
because it helps us
generation.
to get out of
So it's
our
like
heads.
older brother, older
It
cousin.
helps us to kind of get out
Yeah.
of the, oh my gosh, what am I going to say? Why are you looking at me? For all of those things, all of those
And
little inner
also
talk that we
serves
we
as a
have.
term of respect
So improv has
sometimes.
been huge in terms of a tool.
Offense.
Yes, you like my articulated arms.
Articulated
Part
arm.
of being a good car salesperson is realizing what they want, realizing how best to make them feel that the choice to purchase your vehicle is the right one, but having hours upon hours upon
It
hours.
sounds so
to
natural.
think on my feet so quickly and be so many different characters and have different interpretations of what people are saying to me. It's probably the best possible background you could have for doing what I do. So I got really, really lucky that I picked this profession.
So, you gotta lift with your legs, you know? But dude, your back is so much bigger than your legs. Yeah, but I'm like, okay, I can lift like this, and yeah, my back's bigger, but my back's gonna be even more bigger because it's gonna be like falling apart, you know? So I thought back pain was part of it.
I thought back pain was hard.
I really like that. What was after that?
So next, like, what makes good improv?
Okay,
Is that still the plan?
I think so.
Okay. For someone else to stop.
I might not jump into that.
But when you're going somewhere and performing on stage for
Explain to the principal why I was
What?
Does Richard say anything
A
about
lot
good
of the work
improv?
we do, whether it's
I think he
coaching
does.
coaches,
Maybe we should look at Richard's interview
Yeah.
again.
It's definitely towards the end. If he does say anything, I think.
Did he? Yes.
Do a lot of the performances. I drag her in sometimes, but she's
Love him.
very good sport about it and enjoys it and really good. And she does it, she's good. And I got what she does. And I like her to do it, so it works out very well. So, and we met some people as friends and I'm one of the old funkies amongst the group. It's kind of fun to let them know that when you get older, you don't have to get tired and weak and slow. And some of that happens, not all that, but you also can stay bright, challenging, and kind of encourage them to do better because there's so much more people have potential. I just enjoy watching that come out. And I think the family situations when we're keeping it real, and it will come. Sometimes it will surprise you. The thing that makes it funny at times is when there's something surprising, just beyond believability, that pops up, or it. Yeah, and improv to me is
there was something good here.
Yeah, and improv to me is you just keep moving it along and keeping it real, and it will come. Sometimes it will surprise you. The thing that makes it funny at times is when there's something surprising, just beyond believability, that pops up, or it resolves in something that's very believable, but people were not going to let it happen, and then it happens anyway. So these surprises, I think, are funny. Improv that we do is pretty clean, and it's very believable, but people were not going to let it happen, and then it happens anyway. So these surprises, I think, are funny.
I think I want to cut that
Improv
part.
that we do is pretty clean, and it's not using some of
The previous part you're thinking
some
about
of the things
using?
Potentially.
I feel
a
like
lot of
it's
it don't fall.
confusing.
Yeah.
It's more in the
Without the context of a
And,
broader interview, it's
those
just
can be funny, but they can get tiresome. But if you just get some stories out there and you get working on the stories, there's
I
a
like
lot
that.
of irony. There's a lot of things that are funny in the way people relate to one another, and when they're trying to do it, think of it as cartoon strips. You have a short period of time, and you can have 3 or 4 pieces of the scene to put together, and you have a possible punchline. And the possible punchline, you never know when it's going to come up, and you work for it. If it doesn't work, then it's you're excused because it was all made up. If you're a stand-up,
Wait, maybe we
it
should.
gets more challenging. I have not tried it, but my fear there is not being able to remember the joke that I wanted to tell, or messing up the timing of the punchline. There's so many ways that when you're there by yourself, it's hard.
Nah, I don't.
The fellow actors up there to make sure I do the right thing to support it. I have a habit of asking questions, but that's not always a good one. That's putting the burden on somebody else. I have a habit of kind of pushing the scene the way I want it to go, the way I visualize, instead of letting it evolve and sharing it. And I'm challenged by all of those techniques that you know are necessary to how to put a show in a good production. So those pieces are important. The other thing is sometimes we don't have enough time. We're learning different kinds of things. I like the workshop, and I'd like to see us take a little more time to.
Okay, I think I did like challenges because that would be good with Barb when she talks about not feeling ready to jump in.
pause for a sec. I think it would be really cool to not do what makes good improv necessarily, but to do challenges with improv and
Yeah.
then move into why it's important regardless, why they
Mhm.
still do it.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Do you
'Cause
think that
Barb has that, and I think maybe we could put a little bit of something in there with like the positive side of it, like after the challenges, like what makes it feel good to them.
mm-hmm.
Because I remembered asking that question in the interviews to them a few times.
I think following like them talking
The
about challenges or possible failures with improv, eventually followed by you have to fail to learn, is a really good storyline.
Oh, so make it kind of circular, like, or
In terms of like, I think it's good that the next step we do is talk about challenges with improv, and then eventually later on in the doc, we're gonna have you have to fail to learn, right? So that makes it just adds purpose to why we're talking about challenges.
okay.
It's like why they, despite the fact that there are challenges with improv and that there's the possibility of failing, it's still important to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's
The challenge is to get out of myself and to care enough about my fellow actors up there and to make sure I'm doing the right thing to support them. I have a habit of asking questions, but that's not always a good one. That's putting the burden on somebody else. I have a habit of kind of pushing the scene the way I want it to go, or what I visualize, instead of letting it evolve and sharing it. And I'm challenged by all of those kind of techniques that you know are necessary to have a good show and a good production. So those pieces are important. The other thing is sometimes we don't have enough time. that you know are necessary to kind of have a good show and a good production. So those pieces are important.
My favorite thing about doing videos of other people is when they have very cuttable, like, voices or styles of speaking, because I've kind of developed that myself just because of YouTube, and I do a lot of my cuts myself, and I see what works in the editing room, and people like Richard, he has this great way of speaking in the sense that rather than rambling on and on until he finds his point, he stops and just breathes, and it's the most convenient.
I thought back pain was part of it.
The challenge is to get out of myself and to care enough about my fellow actors up there and to make sure I'm doing the right thing to support
Belinda
them.
says something about
I
this
have a
too.
habit
We should look
of
at
asking
Belinda's interview.
questions.
It's definitely in Biggie. It's somewhere where
It turned into a brick sidewalk.
Supports whatever the other guy says, but I mean, it's points. So the root smells good. If you want what?
It really is about being completely present in the moment. There is no script. There is no what if so and so says something else because you don't know what so and so is saying. And most of the time we've been listening for someone else to stop talking, so we fill in the gaps. But then probably can't do that because if I'm jumping ahead and thinking of trying to guess what you're going to say, I'm not going to listen. I'm going to lose it to my partner. And so that's wonderful. So sort of learning to be present. The other aspect that I think is so important is to accept what people give as a gift rather than saying no, you're wrong. It's there's a pink elephant. Oh, guys, there's a pink elephant, and here we go. This is your reality. This is the truth. It's a gift. Now, I might shift that pink elephant into it turned into a brick sidewalk. And I do that, but I'm accepting what people give as a gift, and that is also all part of recognizing what people give you rather than denying what they say.
I like that whole part.
I did too. And I think it would be a good transition into. So, I think here it would be. I'm gonna take all of this, put it in fine cut for a bit. I think we can move Richard's part of the interview. Oh,
That's Richard's whole interview. You can delete that.
Okay. Let's move Richard's interview after that point. Like right now, it's just a lot of Lauriston, and I think it would be cool for like a transition out to have like a few more words from him, and then like go to Belinda. And I quite like this scene, and I want to hear the audio of it. So what Belinda says for the first half is basically what Lauriston says for the first half here, and just for the to make the interviews here not too long, not too long for either of them. I'd say like take the first half of the what Belinda said, but replace it with Lauriston's voice and like what he says, and then go to the second part with Belinda, and then transition into this part. Or oh no, but yeah, does that make sense?
I think I get what you're saying, but you want to do it real quick,
Okay.
and then we can talk about.
Present in the moment. There is no study. It really is about being completely present in the moment. There is no script. There is no what if so and so says something else because you don't know what so and so is saying. And most of the time we only listen for someone else to stop talking, so we fill in the gaps. But then probably can't do that because if I'm jumping ahead and thinking of trying to guess what you're going to say, I'm not going to listen. I'm going to lose it to my partner. And so that's wonderful. So just sort of learning to be present. The other aspect I think is so important is to accept what people give as a gift rather than
The other aspect.
learning to be present.
This part, and then
And of course, so when we are practicing, it's just us. So that is the measure of if it's good. If you want to get into something really technical, you could say the good improv is where you are saying yes and a lot. You are making your partner look good. If you're just accepting what is around you. If you are, again, if you want to get really technical, if you are quick on your feet, you can come up with a witty retort or just something that supports whatever the other guy says. But I mean, it's a performance. So the root.
damn it, he talked about the second part. I really wanted Belinda's explanation for that. Like, Belinda talks about being present a lot, and let's see. Just take all of that out. Because now I don't want Belinda to speak for a whole minute. You know what I mean?
It really is about being completely present in the moment. There is no script. There is no what if so-and-so says something else, because you don't know what so-and-so is saying. And most of the time we only listen for someone else to stop talking, so we fill in the gaps. With improv, you can't do that, because if I'm jumping ahead and thinking of trying to guess what you're going to say, I'm not going to see. I'm going to lose it for my partner. And so that's wonderful. It's just sort of learning to be present. The other aspect that I think is so important is to accept what people give as a gift rather than saying, no, you're wrong. It's, oh, there's a piano thing.
Could you pause? I think if we're just going for challenges, at this point, I think we should cut before she says the other aspect is and put that later on in the film. Because this is like the way I see it is, it's like challenges, things that you can't do. And then it's like, but improv lets you have this greater mindset for life and accepting things as a gift. Like, I see is going in the second bucket.
Okay, I see that. At first I was thinking about like, I feel like you should know what you're doing to understand how you're challenged by it. But now I realize that there's not really footage to show that you know what you're doing.
Mm.
If that makes sense. So maybe it is better to just go straight into challenges first.
Mm-hmm.
Then do Belinda's part later.
Mm-hmm. I like including barbs. Like sometimes I like wonder if,
Let's go to barbs. I think I should probably end this. My computer will probably die soon.
Yeah.
So thank you for the live stream.
Bye.
Bye to the 4 people that are still on. Incredible. Thank you.
How are only 3 people watching? What the fuck? Thanks, Grace.
Surprised by the engagement though.
Yeah, thank you guys.